Hello everyone, and welcome to more Final Fantasy XIV. You might wonder why I have Wave and Salute not down here like I had them before. And that's because, honestly, there's a lot of stuff that I ended up putting onto all of these bars on my main file, and if I do that again, I'm not going to have room for both of those. So I'm just going to have to either hit Wave and Salute, type those in real fast, or, just pop open the emote, like so, and then I have them here, so I can just hit buttons on the favorites here. But yeah, I think we'll be alright. If I decide to do something different with it, then I'll go from there, but those last few jelly merchant bastards must be camped out somewhere in western Lanasia. Now, if I was a black-blooded gill-grubbing slaver, where would I be hiding? There's not to the west but the Sahagin pools. Even those bullocks for brains pirates know better than to trespass on fishback territory. They won't want to come running into patrols near airport. So that just leaves us east. The flock? They'll likely be nestled in the ruins out there amongst the dodos. And that's where we'll try to pick up their trail. You head on over and stitch the place while I send word to the sisters in the Maelstrom. Search the flock for signs of the Jolly Merchants. So you see I have Throwing Dagger as number 1 here, and I'm actually going to leave Throwing Dagger at number 1 there, because that's where I want it. I've actually been keeping that space open specifically for when we got Throwing Dagger. So I'm really, uncomfortable for some reason today. I am shifting all over in my chair today, and I don't know why, but it is annoying me, heavily. And, I hate that I can't ever get, comfortable, really at all. So it's really annoying by a lot. So, but yeah, I should be able to find these guys that I'm after right up here. Let's see, I was gonna say I definitely am not technically after these the Rotano Buccaneers. It looks like this guy's gonna try to combat me. Not his buddy that's closer, but him. The guy that's farther away. Why? Not a clue. Still not the guy that's closer. Still the ones that are the farthest away. Might just have to deal with all of these guys real quick. Admittedly, I thought about it. Just knocking these guys out in this area. But that I didn't. I think I got it though. Alright, time for a duty. A duty, a duty. Oh, it's a duty. Smelly, smelly duty. Thank you for freeing us. We've been tied up here since those awful pirates snatched us from our beds. And those are some interesting looking dodos you've got there, Kazumi. Sign of the merchants, though, eh? Well, I killed a few people, but I don't think they were them. I later mentioned heading over to airport. He said something about there being no signal, and that was a signal that something was wrong. They just left us hobbled here like lambs for the market. One of them japed about keeping the meat unsullied in case there was trouble. Pray let us flee this place before they return. And who are you to just sidle in and set loose our hard-won prizes, Oh yeah, these people. 'Twas the damnedest thing. We'd have a crew lodged in an airport. Not a one of them survived the night. Done in by a couple of sneaky curs what favor the short blades, they say. I'm supposing that was you two. Seems you've a bone to pick with our choice of trade. I can't say as I've much use for slavers, except as a place to bury me knives. And I wouldn't bother yourselves with waiting on your ship to come back neither. Jolly merchants are done for. You might have the right of it, lad. But then you wouldn't know the kind of coin 3 healthy slaves like them ones will bring us. I'll have a new ship and a new crew for a single moon as was past. You hear that, chattel? You're each worth a shining bloody fortune, and you've me to thank for helping you learn your true worth. Ignore these bleeding sods. In fact, why don't you step back a ways? These coves are about to learn the consequences of breaking the code, and the discussion is like to get messy. Did you not think we'd come for you? You can try to stifle your victim's screams in the darkmans, the shadows are always listening. I like me slaves with a bit of fight. You'll fetch a grand price on the block. Stow your wits and draw your steel. Come on. Hit the attack button, please. I need to kill this person first. Kill the barber, kill the waster, and then deal with the loadsman. The barber is a conjurer, oddly enough. Always more of them. Oh, hi! They brought dodos. Birds move slow, but they have a nasty peck. Keep your distance secure from far. Alright, throw your bloody daggers, Kazumi. He says, as I, just walk up behind and attack. That's fine. What they do want you to do is this. More dodos. Theirs was slavers. Not bleeding farmers. They come now last. Take them one at a time. They do move slow though. Crush your enemies 3. And still they come. Bennett. Saves us a search. Get wrecked. But yeah, the whole point of this is to make you utilize your throwing daggers. I really should be utilizing my shadows thing. Hey, it's Underfoot and Vicab. Underfoot is here to get underfoot. At least I would if any bugger was left standing. Poor Underfoot. It's a fine pile of quarrons. There's naught for us to do. No scraps for latecomers, lasting me out of hunger. Poor Vicab. Thank you. I started to think what horrid fate awaited us, had you not helped us to escape. I knew someone would come. I like to hear us in the stories. They always arrive at the perfect time and triumph over the villains. Do you think I could be a hero like you? I know I could be brave and strong too. I just know it. Hey, you don't want to be like me, lad. And listen now, me and those coves there were the ones with what the scary folk are afraid of. And that's because we keep the rules for the world they live in. We don't much care if you shirk your chores or get into fights. If you ever break the code and betray your mates, then that's when we'll come after you. No matter how far you run or how well you hide. He's like, oh, live your life like the hero you want to be, though, and you'll never need to worry about that. Aye, you two can stubble it and all. Uh-oh. Well, who do we have here? I assume you are the citizens who were abducted by the Jolly Merchants? I am Captain Milala? Something like that. I am Captain Milala of the Yellow Jackets. Maelstrom Command has entrusted me with conducting you to safety. Go on, then. It's alright, lad. These folks will take care of you. Go on, you best not get left behind. Was there aught else, Captain? Word on a new job? A job for me? For you? How patently absurd! Why, I'd rather hire a sewer rat to mind my larder. Was it during one of your jobs that you turned the airport into a slaughterhouse? What dark age is this, that we must employ assassins to enforce the law? It is this continued dalliance with underworld miscreants such as you that prevents Limsa Laminsa from ever fully expunging the stain of piratical infection. Look at these weapons you bear. A civilized person uses such implements to carve meat or peel fruit and leaves them at a table where they belong. Do you perhaps clench them twixt your teeth as you swing over rails like the pirates you hunt? Our fair city has no place for those who refuse to abandon the British ways of the past. The only champions of justice this station requires are the valiant and forthright soldiers of the Yellow Jackets. Jackie, what the hell does this Cole want with us? I've not the foggiest idea, love. Just smile and nod. I've not come here to be patronized. I've come here to put a decisive end to piracy in all its forms. Consider this visit a gauntlet thrown at the collective feet of the Rogues Guild. Heed well my words. Just before dawn this very morn, a maelstrom vessel stocked with provisions was boarded and looted by pirates. Much of the cargo was stolen, and this is vexing indeed, but it is the theft of 3 items in particular, 3 unique treasures of nigh incalculable worth, that most distresses my martial colleagues. As for the brigands, they made their escape, disappearing into the dawn's mist, along with their precious plunder. The rum tale, what's it to do with us? I challenge you, a contest to reclaim these stolen treasures. Should my Yellow Jackets and I succeed in retrieving the greater share, I shall formally propose the abolition of the Rogues Guild. Upon review of our achievements, the Admiral will surely concede that your unscrupulous institution has outlived its usefulness. I'm gonna need to drink after doing her. Sorry. Blow it out, you waddle. I've better ways to spend me time. Oh, do you now? This institute constitutes a theft against the nation of Limsa Laminsa. Does that not violate your beloved code? If I'm not mistaken, you've no choice but to rise to the occasion. Unless, of course, you mean to slink back into your hole and abandon the fundamental precepts of your duty. Alright, you screeching shrew. You've made your bloody point, and I'll be sorry that you did, I promise you that. Your paltry promises amount to naught in the face of my conviction. I shall not rest until Limsa Liminsa is free of every last buccaneer, scoundrel, and shadow-dwelling ne'er-do-well. I love how tiny she is, though. What now, Jackie? For right now, we head back to the sisters. I love that she, like, talks so big, but she's so tiny. I love the idea of this tiny thing like that being so intimidating. You know? It's so funny. Such a fun idea. It's what I like about, in my universe, there's the No More. And they're this horrible, like, very intimidating, very powerful, you know, set of opponents. Which is hilarious because they're little teeny tiny people. They're like 2 feet tall. And I love it. So funny. Little teeny tiny 2 feet tall people annihilating entire armies of like humans and elves and stuff, you know, like full on, like, you know, full size people of like all these other races and just getting annihilated by these little teeny tiny guys. I don't know, I just think it's fun. I think it's both fun and kind of hilarious. Just because, like, you don't expect that something teeny tiny is going to be so intimidating and powerful. Which is why it's, like, such a big deal. You know? For we last, the Milala's got bullocks. It seems she's done well with what whiffs the pirate stock. I don't think kindly did Cole's pulling me strings, but the shrew's right. The code's been broken and we've a job to do. From the sounds of it, though, them coves knew what they were about when they cloyed them treasures. I'll need you at your best. It's time you learned the art of mugging. Rough up a Cole in just the right way, and he'll give up more than what you'd get if you just plain knocked him on his arse. Me and the lads will be busy whittling the story on them bitten baubles, so you're free to head out and sharpen your skill. Might even be as you'll pocket some extra blunt while you're at it, eh? Yay, a skill I'll never use, but yay. I mean, it seems like a good skill, because it's like, hey, you know, it's an attack, and increases the chance of additional items being dropped if mug is dealt before or as the finishing blow. You know, lasts for 20 seconds after you hit them. Like, seems like a good ability. And it might be for, like, farming, you know, materials. Like, if I need to go out and get, like, leather working materials, you know, I could probably use mug for that. But knowing as much as I do, like, I really, like, I use it so rarely. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's really ridiculous how little I use it. So, alright, well, that gets us caught up on the Rogue and Arcanist quests. Obviously, if I wanted to, I could push to level 20 and we could, you know, do the next part. But before we go pushing any further into that, I think it's time that we report to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. at the Waking Sands. Because something cool is about to happen, and it will help us significantly. So, like, super significantly. Alright, we're here now. So let's go ahead and switch over to Conjurer, just because I like this particular outfit at the moment. And let's head on into the Waking Sands, of which this guy is standing in the doorway, keeping the door open. Do you want ants? That's how you get ants. That's how you get bugs, at least. Granted, this is, medieval times, so you're gonna have bugs no matter what, but... the triumphant hero returns. Tancred told us the news upon his arrival. He's presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. And we get a ring. I think. Oh crap, I still have it on Japanese, I realized. Hopefully there's no voice dialogue. My late arrival nearly cost Kazumi her life. I wasn't there when the Amalja took her prisoner. And I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle she survived, but that does not excuse the fact that she should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed her utterly. Just as I'm failing you all. No, what's done is done, Tancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Kazumi, it is so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. So I play the game with Japanese audio. Just because I like the Japanese voices and stuff better. Plus, there's just some really fun lines in the Japanese that are not what it says in the English. And that's unfortunate. Like, you don't get the same effect with the English voicing. Like, not with, like, the whole game, but with just some specific lines. So... Tancred has told me everything. You've done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume aether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more aether they require. Now aether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of aether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of aether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which gathers the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give. In order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself are subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know of course that's going to go off. We know the why of it, but those blessed with it are immune to primal influence. And we know not the why of it. It is as though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that it would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. I'm going to say it instead of that because we have a thing. One of those Amazon things that's called that. So, in the recent incidents all share a common trait. Meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are new developments, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of this respite, Kazumi. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or no, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I am sorry to report that they are all to be put to death, the flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Kazumi. Rep. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Gods forgive me, how many more lives? Louis Soir would never have allowed this to happen. I have to be better. I have to be stronger. That's unfortunate. There's no other thing, there's nothing. There's no other way of dealing with it. And unfortunately, it literally is a matter of they literally can't keep them alive. So, otherwise, they're just going to be they're just going to empower the primal. Here in the making, Minfilia is wearing a wry smile. Might it have something to do with your newfound fame? I love this part. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Thancred that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in doing so. And I missed the other line. Oops. Hand freaking twitched and clicked on it. We have guests, Kazumi. Or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons? There they are. Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Liminsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, Kazumi, your recent exploits have garnered you the attention of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Kazumi's deeds spread so quickly. That the immortal flame should know of her triumph is to be expected, but what of the other grand companies? Poor Tadaru. Your reputation precedes you, Mistress Hirata. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant women such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend. Together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Mistress Hirata. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. Why, even before you aided us against the Amalja and their dread primal, yours was already a respected name in Ul'dah. Our people know you and love you well. A woman of your talent belongs with the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend. Together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa Liminsa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfilia. Can I not? There it is. I was trying to hide the screen because I thought that's a good screenshot. Very well. Though I am quite certain you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation will help to clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa Liminsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a grand company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your endeavors. Very useful, in fact. For agonizing over which of the grand companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your alliance at a later date, you are entitled to do so. And yet, I concede that it is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each grand company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well, let Kazumi hear our leader speak, then return here with her decision. We eagerly await your answer. Poor Teteru. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of a reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Kazumi, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one woman in the midst of a grand company. In the midst of a grand company, however, you will be one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The grand companies seek to protect their own nations. We scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link probe with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, Kazumi, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it is time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Teteru. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. Yeah, hero in the making. Alright, time to go catch us some remembrance services. That was only mentioned back at level freaking 15, you know. So, and honestly, this is one of my favorite parts, because you get to go to each area, you get to see each area, group. Each of them gives a little speech and things, and it's really cool. It gives you a sense of what each area kind of stands for, you know. I do, however, need to go into my sound settings. And is it not in sound settings? Where is it? Accessibility, other. That's odd. Let me go ahead and switch that back to English, because we are about to see some cutscenes that have voices. Thank you for that. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Kazumi. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly and often to a few too many people. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of the 3 services, and Elder Seed Seer Kanasina will deliver her address at Miketta's Amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Ul'dah, where Flame General Ralban al-Din will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there's to be a special guest. How exciting. Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Laminsa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merlueb Blufiswin will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to Sentry Xanthael, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the remembrance services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. AKA, you should do them in this order, but they will literally occur in whatever order you go to the cities in. So, whatever you pick, that's the one that you're going to get. So, you know, whichever one you pick first, second, third, etc., that's what you're going to get. So, let's see. I guess we are at about 40 minutes. So, this might be a good time to break things up. That said, I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have, feel free to subscribe. You can check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any episodes you might have missed. There's a link to my Patreon down below as well. Even $1 helps out, and, well, I mean, it costs money to play this game beyond the free trial, and I would very much like to get to see all the content for all of you, and if that's something that interests you, then consider stopping by and donating there as well. And with that, I'll see you all next time. See you later.